let me first say the question. She asked me how it is that she cut off her fingers, which she has grown back. When she was a little girl, her hand was completely shut in the car door, flattened, and by the time she got in the house, the hand was healed. In both instances, she felt no pain. She said to me, we really need to understand this formula, because if we do, we can apply it when people are ill or sick, etc. And so I'm going to give you the formula of how to experience things without pain, how to take blows without it affecting you. We have said that the kingdoms of pristine humanness, the God kingdom and the magical kingdom, have different ways of change. The pristine human kingdom's way of change is transformation. And transformation is to shed the old. Then God kingdom uses transmutation. They take, their strong suit is perception. So they take hardship, they gain the perception of it, and then the hardship's no longer needed, and the hardship has now released within it the power. It turns hardship to power through perception. That's alchemical. And that we can describe as transmutation. Then, when we look at the magical kingdom, its way of change is transfiguration. It takes a flattened little hand of a little girl that had it stuck in the car with nobody to comfort her, and it heals it. We have many stories of miracles, of things that have changed like that. This is the magic of transfiguration. There is a different way of change. Think of these three ways of change, the three stages of linear change is what we call it in the book Journey to the Heart of God, as a flat triangle. Think of it as your pranic tube moving up and down and to the top of the pyramid, and at the top of the pyramid there is the form of change known as transcendentalism. Actually, wrong word. Transcendence. Transcendence. When you are, if we look at the DNA rose, we have said it isn't flat. Otherwise, we can't do the God magic with it that we've given you in the online courses that uses a different overlay on the rose for every single different purpose. For instance, cellular regeneration has a specific template. Then you get the next template for abundant life through miraculous living. That's another template. Because these are like slices of bread that's turned on its end. Slices of bread. Each template's on a different slice of the rose. What is the rose? The rose is a living fountain of awareness that actually bubbles up, and it is ever new. It only gets static when we have belief systems, when we have personal identities and stories, when we have worldviews. This is the way the world is. So, when we approach life like that 2-year-old, what next? What adventure is there? And we approach it with the humility, and this is the definition of true humility. Not that one is less than another, but true humility says, I live in an ocean of unknowability. I know nothing. I am open, therefore, to experientially learn everything. So, when you are at a certain level of life and something bad happens, you can actually raise your awareness to another level of life, and from that other level of life, you are less physical and it doesn't hurt. An example would be, we have had several instances now with my daughter and myself in the car where there were unavoidable accidents and the cars just went right through us. The car jerks, we feel totally nauseated from the low level of consciousness that just moved through us, but it does not impact us. Because the moment before the impact, we raised to a higher non-physical level. We transcended the reality in which it would have caused injury or pain. So, yes, we come back down to that reality, but we can come and stay a little bit above the reality and again avoid the pain. We can see that the hand's been crushed, it needs attention, like let's say a vein has been cut or something. Many times those who live in the God Kingdom don't bleed, actually. I've noticed that with my daughter, that when she's deeply cut, there might be one little drop of blood and nothing else. You have to make yourself bleed in order to produce the blood. So, but sometimes if there's blood, you can see that it needs to be tended to, needs to be bandaged, you need to put a tourniquet on perhaps if it's very severe, but you're observing it from this transcended level where it really doesn't hurt. So in her instance, she has used transcendence, moving up and down the kundalini, moving higher up in the kundalini, is a way to move yourself into a higher reality. It's a way of drawing the energy up the kundalini. And it pulls you into another reality. What makes that reality different? What makes it not so physical? Its building blocks sing a higher note. The frequency component sings a higher note.